Have you ever stopped to think what keeps you logged in while browsing your favorite apps? The secret lies in a powerful tool called JWT. Let's dive in and see how it works behind the scenes. JWT is an open standard that allows secure information exchange between two parties. In our use cases, one party can be a web application and the other party can be a server. It is widely used across many use cases like web applications and microservices. Let's dive into details with an example. So this tool, JWT.io, is a very helpful tool for you to play around and see how the JWT token will be generated and what are the different algorithms we can try it out. To begin with, if you observe clearly, this specific token is split into three parts and it is separated by a dot. The first part is in red color, and if you see here, that is called header, and header carries information of what is the type of token and also which algorithm being used. And the second part of the token is actually the payload. So payload is again, it purely depends on the use cases, but in this specific case, if you see, we are storing name and this specific user, what are his roles, and also the scope and roles are purely depends on your use case. But for the sake of this example, I have added a scope field, which is like, let's say it's a booking application, and orders and bookings are the modules where I am being part as an admin role. And there is issued a timestamp and also expiration timestamp. So I'll just come to the expiration later, but this is the meta information what we can store. And there are some pros and cons and what type of information we can store in the payload, but and it's always best practice to keep it minimal. And the third and most important part, if you see in this color, that is a signature. And this is a combination of header and payload, these two parts, and it will be hashed with a secret key. And also here we can choose the algorithms. Currently it is HS256. Based on the algorithm, there will be different mechanisms on how you can generate the token and also validate the token. Let's jump back to the HS256 algorithm. Also, if you can observe, the segments are purely base 64 encoded, meaning you can normally just get this part and decode to get this information. Now let's jump to an example on user authentication flow. To begin with, first the client sends a login request to the server and the server validates credentials, and if the credentials are valid, then server will create a JWT token based on the algorithm. It again depends on the business use case. Either it can be a single secret key to generate the token and also to validate, or a different public and private key. After generating the JWT token, usually server responds the token as a response body for the same login request. Once client receives the JWT token as a response for the login request, it stores locally. Either it's a local storage, session storage. Usually local storage is not a good idea. It can be used in session storage just to be more secure. Then client will make sure that for any further requests, which are all private requests, client will attach this specific JWT token as an authorization header and send it to server. Then server extracts that information from authorization header, validate the signature whether the token is valid or not. So if the token is valid, server will respond with the normal regular response. And also the representation of multiple servers over here. So in the horizontal scaling, the server usually shares the same secret, which can be pulled from the environment variables or vault or any secret management service, but the secret key would be same, which is being used across all the servers. Before jumping into the pros and cons, I have made a video on sessions, which is another way of making your application secure. Please do check out that video as well. We'll leave the link in the description. Alright, back to why you should use JWT. First point, stateless. The server doesn't need to keep track of the sessions. It just validates the JWT token, which comes as a header in the request, which makes scaling easier. Second one, portable. JWTs can be sent across different domains, making them useful for microservices. Third one, secure. The reason why it is secure, let's get back to the previous example. So in this, if you see here, let's say if I want to tamper this JWT token, pretending that I'm a different guy, maybe like Fubar, right? If you see, for any character change, the whole token is being changed over here. Let's say if I just add one character, and not only that, you can just use the last segment same, meaning let's say if I just use Vivek Bharatha, right? So this is the normal signature what we got, and the reason it is being changed whenever we do this, because this application is maintaining a secret key. That's why you can see it keeps changing. But usually when the hackers try to act as a different user, they can't really generate this token because they don't have the secret key. So even if I just change one character, the key will is different. If I just search over here, I can't find, because as the payload has changed, the signature also will be changed based on the secret key, and the hackers can't have the secret key because it will be stored securely only on the servers. That's it. Moving on to pitfalls and some best practices. First one, using short expiration times. Meaning in the example, if you see in the payload, we have this expiry exp, and if you hover, you can see this is like it will be expired in 19 September 1903. And after this time, if the token is still passed to the server will detect that the token has been expired and return the appropriate response. So the short expiration time is always safe. Second one, always use HTTPS. The reason, let's say by somehow if the token got exposed to some other party, the party can actually do all the operations what that specific token can do, and that's kind of a security flaw. So if you use HTTPS, it's hard to intercept the request and extract the token. Third one, storing tokens securely. Storing in session storage is always safer than local storage, and it's a good practice to maintain. Again, it can vary based on the use cases, but storing the token in session storage is a bit safer than local storage. So that's JWT in a nutshell, a lightweight, stateless solution to handle authentication and authorization. Next time you're logged into an app, remember there is a little token doing all the heavy lifting behind the scenes. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.